Zel Boy Army, how are we doing today? Here with another banger of video. We're looking at every attribute stat in FIFA and I'm going to explain them all to you. I'm going to tell you exactly what they do. I'll tell you what positions I think they're important for, and it'll probably help you be a lot more informed so you know what position to pick your players in, or what players you want in each position, so to speak. Before we get into it, I want to talk about the Patreon that I run with Jambu and FIFA Analyst. A link in the description below, patreon.com/underdoggaming. This Patreon has 70 people in it now. It's a community we're building, dedicated to helping you guys get better at FIFA. Any questions about it? Feel free to message me on Twitter, ask me about it. Lots of different tiers, lots of ways of helping you improve. We had numerous people hit their first ever Elite finish this weekend. One guy went from Gold 2 to Elite 3. Lots of articles, videos, different things on the Patreon dedicated to helping you improve, and you get lots more access to 2 pro players and also FIFA Analyst, who's an Elite 1 player, so very good, and a great analyst of the game. Dedicated to helping you improve. Loads of people are getting the best ever weekend league results, so I'd highly recommend it. If you like this type of content, boys, every day at 7 PM, like, comment on the videos, subscribe if you're new around here. Every day videos helping you get better at the game. Anyway, let's get into the video. We'll start with the keepers. So, well, whilst we're here, skill moves, literally skill moves is just, there's certain skill moves need a certain amount of stars to be able to do. I think the ball roll you can do with 1 star. I think when you get to 2 star you can do step overs. 3 star you can do I can't remember what it's called, but the one where you do like the side heel, lateral heel to heel, I think it is. You can do a basic heel to heel. Then 4 star you get things like the scoop turn, the proper heel to heel, and 5 stars where you get a lot of the cooler tricks. But I don't think there's that many skill moves that are 5 star that are that essential. Tomorrow's video is actually going to be looking at skill moves and some of the better ones that you can be using. But keeper stat, weak foot obviously. For weak foot, it's just how good the weak foot is. So Alisson's strong foot is right foot. I think 1 star weak foot means they're 20% effective. Then it goes 40%, 60%, 80% for 4 star, and 100% for 5 star. So if you have a 5 star weak foot, it is effectively as good as having a. It's effectively as good as the strong foot. So you'll see me in all my videos talk about that you should be having 5 star weak foot in the attack. 5 star weak foot in the attack makes you way less predictable and completely changes how you can play. But with keepers, the stats, diving, I think that is literally how far they can dive, how quick they can get down to dive. I think diving and reflex is kind of similar. Some of the stats I'm going to talk about, they aren't fully explained, to be honest, in the game. But as much as I'm aware, diving is literally the length they can dive, how fast they can dive. Obviously taller keepers will have a bit more reach, but they might take a bit longer to get down. Handling is how effectively they hold on to the ball. Do they catch more? Are they more likely to fumble, give a rebound? So high handling is pretty useful. Kicking, just how effective their kicking is, literally. I don't think that's that important stat. Long throw, I mean, traits are a bit different stats. Long throw is a pretty nice one to have for keepers. It means that you can distribute the ball a bit quicker for counter-attacks. I like rushes out of goal because it means they come out and sweep, like a sweeper keeper type role, like Neuer famously brought into the game. Then the other one is cautious with crosses, or comes for crosses. On this game, I prefer cautious if they have the trait. Reflexes, just how quickly they can make point blank saves, how quickly they react to stuff. It's like the reactions one for keepers. Speed is just how fast the keeper is. This is one of the main things you'll notice with the team of the season keepers, that they're just a lot faster. And then positioning, you'll find the keepers with bad positioning get caught a lot more at the near post or finesses. They don't position properly, literally how they position. The keeper ones are very basic. Okay, pace. Acceleration is how quickly a player can get to his top speed. I used to think on some of the older FIFAs acceleration was more important. On this game, I think sprint speed matters more. You can see there that Robertson has 94 pace, even though if you divide those two, the average, it's 93. But sprint speed counts more towards the pace calculation on FIFA 20. Acceleration is how quickly they get to the top speed, then sprint speed is what is that top speed. So if a player had 1 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, he'll take forever to get to it, but when he's at his top speed, he will be rapid. If a player had 99 acceleration and 1 sprint speed, He'll get to that sprint speed quick, but he'll be slow. So I think effectively sprint speed is more important. Acceleration can be quite useful around the box to quickly just burst into space, or in the midfield to make a quick interception, but in general I think sprint speed on this game matters more for covering the long distances. Attack positioning, I don't really feel like I noticed this one drastically, because I feel like 99 position I still see players making absolutely stupid runs, but on paper this stat is supposed to be how effectively a player will move. Will he find positions? Will he get away from his defender more often? Will he make smarter runs? Amongst the shooting stats on this game, finishing is the most important. 68 finishing on Robson obviously very good, but for attackers you want to be having 80 to 85 minimum finishing. The lower the finishing, the more likely they are to lock a shot onto the keeper or hit an easy shot wide. Two of the best chemistry styles in the game for attackers are Deadeye or Sniper, because they give plus 15 finishing, which is really effective. I think for a striker at this point in the game, you want, with your chemistry style, to have minimum 90 finishing. You don't want to be making chances and missing them solely because your players just can't finish. Finishing is the most important out of them all, because the near post is so OP this year that if you have 90 plus finishing, the player will nearly always hit it on target there. The second most important then is shot power, literally how hard a player can hit a shot. This stat is most important for being able to beat keepers. So if you aim the shot accurately, if you have really low shot power, the keeper will probably still save it. So high shot power and finishing are a very good combo. Long shots is a little bit more complicated. I can't remember what the exact length is, but it's basically once you get to just inside the box or just outside the box, it's around there, the long shot stat starts to kick in, and then the further out you are, the more the long shot stat matters. There's like a point where finishing doesn't matter anymore, and it's just the long shot stat. Volleys is literally just hitting a shot when the ball's off the ground. Volleys aren't that effective this year, shouldn't really be going for them too often, but it's a nice stat to have. Penalties is basically how accurate the players' penalties are, how big the circle is when you're aiming. Now vision, there's a bit more debate on this one, but for me vision is how accurate through balls, chip through balls are. In a normal football, vision would be the passes you can spot. I think because through balls are basically the cutting edge killer balls, that's where I think vision comes in. I think sometimes like for the lofted or a chip through ball, long pass and vision could come in, but I basically think vision is how effective through balls are, how accurate they are, can your player pull them off. So someone with 60 finish vision isn't going to play a very good through ball. Someone with vision like Robertson can play some very good ones. Crossing is basically how quick and accurate your crosses are. Do they get more curve on the whip? So crossing, I don't think it's very good on this game, but obviously having 99 crossing means it's going to be more accurate. Free kick accuracy is basically like penalties. The more free kick accuracy you have, the smaller the circle will be, the less it shakes when you're trying to aim, and the more accurate it is. Probably also the more dip you can get and bend. Short pass, very nice to have good short pass. Just adds more zip, more accurate, less chance of a messed up short pass. Long pass, I don't think it really matters much. I've played 50-yard long passes with players with 60 long pass. Basic long pass, I think the better it is, the quicker it is. I don't think it affects the accuracy that much, but players with high long pass can play very quick long passes, which can open teams up a bit more. And curve just adds a bit more curve onto through balls, short passes. I don't think it's effective on finesse shots. It could be, but I don't think it's a thing. Early crosser, I don't think he even does anything on the game. Maybe it adds a bit more width, but I don't really notice it. Agility is probably the most important out of all the dribbling stats. Agility is how quickly a player can turn. So if you have someone with 99 dribbling but 60 agility, he'll still feel awful on the ball. High agility allows a player to turn really sharp and is really useful to have on the game. Balance is how quickly players can recover from stumbles. Tends to be taller players have pretty bad balance. As long as the balance isn't below 80, I tend to find balance doesn't affect players too drastically. Engine's a very good chem style because it gives plus 10 balance, so I use it on someone like Richarlison who's got some very good stats but 83 balance. Dribbling isn't just affected by the dribbling stats, by the way. It's also affected by like the body types. So like 94 R9, it's got to be more of a stocky, almost a fat type build. he can't turn quite as effectively as dribbling stats say. He's very good still because he can bully people. He gets a lot of stupid bounces because of his build, but he doesn't turn as sharply as, say, like a Neymar, who's got the perfect build for dribbling on this game. So bear in mind, even though a player might have crazy dribbling stats, like, say, future star Martinez, his build doesn't allow him to dribble like the stats say. Reactions, as far as I'm aware, is basically how quick a player reacts to loose balls around them. So if there's a 50-50 or the ball bounces near them, they'll lock onto it quicker and react quicker. Ball control, how good the first touch is. I think that's pretty much it, but having a good first touch is important on the game, especially for attackers. You don't want to pass it into the feet in the box and lose the chance because the first touch is bad. Dribbling is how quickly they can turn, how good their close control is when turning. That works with agility and balance. If a player has an average of 80 across agility, balance and dribbling, they also get a boost to the dribbling stats. Composure, according to EA, is when a player makes a pass or a shot, the higher the composure, the more likely it is to be accurate based off of how close someone gets to him. So if a player's really close to you and putting pressure on you, composure starts to matter. If you have one composure, I think it basically affects the distance. So if you have 99 composure, even if someone's right on top of you, the play will still be accurate. If you have 60 composure, if a defender's not that near you but fairly near, then it'll more likely mess it up. Composure is a bit of a hard one to explain, but the better players tend to have it. I think it's a noticeable stat on attackers. Interceptions, I think it makes them more likely, a bit like reactions, to intercept balls near them. I think this one kind of works with defensive awareness, that they're more likely to pick up good areas. It's almost like the opposite of the attack positioning, but for defenders, and they're more likely to pick up better positions, intercept more. Heading accuracy is literally just how accurate headers are. I don't think headers are that good on the game this year in attack, but you do notice it in the midfield when you win a header. Players with the higher heading accuracy are more likely to head it where you aim. Defensive awareness, I only really notice it on centre-backs and CDMs, but it's a nice stat to have. They basically, it's like Maldini has this thing like a gravity field around him where it's very hard to get round him because he just seems to get really tight to you, doesn't give you much space. Defenders with lower defensive awareness tend to give more space, so you want high defensive awareness, especially on centre-backs, to get tight to people, to stop them being able to get easy chances. Standing tackle, I think it increases the effectiveness of the standing tackle. So the higher it is, the better the animation you get, the more likely you are to keep the ball with it, the less likely you are to commit a foul, and that's based the same with the sliding tackle. Jumping is pretty much just how high they can jump. That is also a combination of height though, so if you have someone with 6'5" who's got 70 jumping, he will be more effective in the air than someone who's 5'10" with 99 jumping. Stamina, how quickly the stamina bar goes down, very simple. Strength, I think on previous FIFA, strength did matter more than aggression, whereas this FIFA, I think aggression is much more important. But strength, basically, a combination with body type, is how effectively a player can hold players off, especially when you use shielding. Strength does come into play. If a player's got high strength and you hold shield and you do it well, they're going to struggle to knock you off the ball. Aggression for me is how players win 50-50s. When you go for tackles, how likely you are to keep the ball. Someone like this David Luiz has been really good all year because he has high aggression. You want centre-backs with really high aggression generally. If we look at the stats, pace matters everywhere. The shooting stats, pretty irrelevant at defending. The higher up you go, the more important finishing shot power matters. Passing stats are important across the board. Vision, short pass are probably the two most important, especially for midfielders and attackers. Centre-backs don't need the passing stats quite as much, but you still want at least 80 plus. Full-backs, it matters a bit. CDMs and cams are probably the ones that it matters the most. Dribbling, of course, again across the board is important. Reactions is important in every position. Agility is very important on full-backs and the front four in the attack because you need to be able to turn sharply and effectively. Interceptions, I don't know how important it is, it's hard to explain, but I think it's nice, especially in defensive mids and the defence. Defensive awareness, centre-backs and CDMs need it more. Standing tackle, mostly for defenders. I don't think sliding tackle matters much because you shouldn't be sliding. And then stamina, obviously, in every position, bar maybe centre-back, it's quite important. Strength's useful everywhere, and then aggression is mostly important on strikers who are trying to win 50-50s, then CDMs and defenders. Some of the traits you should look for, the main two that matter to me are power header's not very useful. Outside of the foot shot and finesse shot. If you can get those on attackers, those are really nice. Son has that finesse shot trait, and it just means his finesse shots are way better. Basically, it means it'll end in the same position, but it just adds more curve, so it's harder for the keeper to deal with. I'm not sure I don't have anyone with the outside foot shot trait here. But the outside of the foot shot for near... Does Mbappe have it? Yeah, he does. The outside of the foot shot for near post shots is really good on this game. Boys, hope that's explained all the stats to you. Any questions, please let me know. If there's any you think are really important, let me know. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel every day. New spicy content for all you boys. Appreciate you all. Thank you for all the support. Tune in tomorrow, 7 PM for the Skill Moves tutorial. Peace.